We will start with a name, yes?
Yes.
Alahani.
Ronnie?
Haani.
Haani.
Yes. We greet you. Yes.
Welcome, my friend.
Yes, welcome. May we share with you information about ourselves?
Yes, please.
I have chose to come to you today specifically as a frequency and representation of Atlantis and its memories. I have served as a High Council Priestess in these times, holding frequency of truest form and intention. My energy has been shared with this vessel as being a portion of a Pleiadian genetic. For what is desired to be known is that at the time of our people in Atlantis, while we were in communication, yes, with other places equally, so we were a people of genetics, and in those we are of the stars and the star people. It is perceived in this as you have an understanding, yes?
Yes.
Delightful, yes.
Can you share with me a little bit about what happened to Atlantis? And then I can ask other questions to uncover other layers that I know are wanting to be shared.
Yes, there are indeed many layers in which we could speak to, for as you experience in your current reality, there are many experiences. Each are clustering, you could say, perhaps, in similarity of journey. It is not entirely in one summary yet. I will do my best to give you some of the most relevant. First and most known would be in the corruption or misalignment use of advanced technologies. This is not summarizing the entirety of our people. It is a rather, we would say, small percentage, yes, most destructive in entirety of the scope. It was not the majority, but rather within a certain percentage of individuals of consciousness who were exploring or playing with things they should not ought be playing with in the ways in which they were. This was one very relevant aspect of our journey. Two would be that which is in the imbalance of the language, would be in the elemental makeup of Gaia, of the land, misuse, lack of honoring for this is part of the experience or the other side of a coin, yes?
Yes, the flip side.
To Lemuria, whom was honoring more in their experience of the elemental spirit, you could say, of Gaia. In this realm, you could say this was a factor that led to the disharmony energetically of our people. There's more. Another layer, which was the largest influence, we could say, was among the majority in ways in which there was a I shall use the word fascination with one's capability in remaining disassociation or disconnection to what was around them. Analogy would be of if your people were to take what Gaia has in forms of medicines and choose to intentionally remain in euphoric states. There comes a frequency then in time that the language creates disharmony in the intended evolution of consciousness. It would be as if you were to take a maze of options and begin to block off various routes that limited the evolution that was desired to be experienced. Therefore, a majority were in a state of euphoric dissolution that bypassed the desired forward motion of integration. Is this information that you are understanding?
Yes.
This would, we would say, summarize a fair percentage of the themes that led to our collapse.
Thank you. This morning, it was shared with us that what we are going through right now on Earth is the precursor to what is coming in the next few months or weeks, as we would be the second Atlantis. And it was shared with us that yes, we will have this, what they call the magical blanket, but we will also be tested in a way to not misuse that magic like it once was in your time. What they shared was wanting us to connect with you all to get more guidance and other layers in exactly that topic of misuse and how we could not repeat the same mistakes.
May we add an additional layer?
Absolutely.
In our time, there were those who were aware. Gifts, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You understand, you particularly, the quantum nature, yes?
Yes.
We were equally gifted in understanding, resulting in, we will say, a council of individuals who were able to tap into frequencies that were able to see various potential realities through a futuristic lens, we will say.
Okay.
With the ability to access this information, these select were able to hold this information both in its energetic weight and in lightness. Therefore, what is being said is it was known. We were aware of these times, hence these councils of individuals energetically are able to guide, assist in this position in which your people are evolving.
Okay.
In this knowledge, though, it was bittersweet, for it was within knowing potential outcomes and the weight of deciding to allow things to unfold despite the destruction. Do you understand what is attempting to be communicated?
Yes, you all didn't want to intervene.
Very well. Very, very well. Yes, you are correct. With this being said, can you rephrase directly your question?
I'm trying to think. How do we not allow ourselves I guess I have two questions. One, how do we also not allow ourselves to get caught up in this euphoric state that you all found yourselves in? Because I think that's a possibility. And how are we also aware that I'm sure there are people or people in our time right now that will use this to be like a wolf in a sheep's clothing?
Yes. Very well. We will address these questions.
Okay.
For yes, it is your opportunity to revisit or progress, yes?
Yes.
To do so, you must understand the challenge, yes?
Yes.
And as we have stated, we will vocalize it through these means. It was shared that it was in the small percentage of the corruption of power that equaled the destruction.
Destruction?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the ability because of the majority's disconnection. Do you see?
Yes.
So your questions are very accurate in exploration because there is in human consciousness the It is baffling in times for the irony, yes, of polarity.
It is.
It is the topic we discuss. For it is of the human condition to feel good, to thrive, to be
prosperous.
This is fuel, intensity in which we find ourselves often chasing, yes?
Yes.
Yet still some choose a different side to only fixate on that which is of fear and challenge.
Yeah.
Two sides, both misaligned. This is not as weighted to the understanding of universal consciousness in different experiences, but it is very relevant for this Earth's, Gaia's experience. So, here we are. We are in this place once more. Can we be of the conscious understanding that we are gods? That we are powerful? Can we understand the quantum makeup of what is scientifically possible and how it relates to what we believe, what we experience? Yet, still, what do we do with it? Is it fueled by the side that wishes to feel good all the time? Imagine if you sit with yourself here in this moment. Imagine if you can snap your fingers and every problem would be dissolved.
That'd be boring.
That is a good answer. And the answer that would be beneficial for your people to sit with. Yet, on the end, we are aware equally so. If we were to sit down and tell your people, you can snap your fingers, have all the abundance, all the love, all the things that you feel are kept from you, held from you. Just in a blink, in a moment, gone. Gone. Most humans, where would I proceed to do such Please, yes, I will live that reality. Sign me up. I would like that. Yes. But you are on this planet. And the nature of consciousness is to continue while you are such here to experience, to move like liquids that must find routes to flow through.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Not stagnant, flowing. This planet. We understand what was beautiful of our people to experience in higher states, but the remembrance, and we have felt the grief or the loss of what was taken for granted. The air, the water, the moments, the neighbors, friends. Pardon the emotional expression. We are, in fact, still human.
No, please. I feel you. I send you love.
This is the answer. It's in the acceptance. It's in the appreciation. It's in the presence. It's in the connection to one another, to your land, to your people, to your animals. It is in allowance of understanding you are of the gods that have chosen to participate here in the experience with one another through the loss and through the joy. It is when these desires can come in unity, separate from the concepts of fear, separate from the concepts of feeling as if you are living a punished reality, a limited reality, a dictated reality, but to live in knowing all that you are, while still participating in the simplistic moments that inspired your soul to be here in the first place. This is perhaps the best example of energy we can give to answer this question. You feel as if it is useful?
Very useful. It's ironic that the three things that you spoke out about is exactly what we're facing right now. The small majority, Gaia's resources, with a large majority almost euphoric in some ideas that then cause great division. But it seems that the majority is noticing that and not as euphoric and is woken up to there's something better we can do.
Bringing balance.
Yes. I can sense it and feel it.
For any time, the scales are tipped, they are not in harmony. It is simply understanding the soul could have infinite experiences, but the acceptance equally that you have chose to experience this Gaia, this earth, this realm. And with that, these two come together with the intention of reaching a conscious place that can honor the journey without forgetting.
Is there anything you feel? Is there any advice that you feel would be so helpful to us right now, beyond anything you've already said?
May we address your second question you originally spoke to?
Absolutely.
For this, in part, answers equally this question.
Okay.
It's within the understanding that when one is perhaps excessively interested in one aspect, as we spoke, euphoric. In that desire, when it is coming from a place that is not in harmony to the soul, or fueled by fear, such as, if I am to feel this way, then I can no longer feel fear. If I am to feel this way, then I must be doing something right. If I am to feel this way, then I must be closer to God. I am honored among those who are honored. These are all imbalanced expressions. When imbalanced, then there becomes an energetic frequency to solve that other side of the equation.
Polarity.
So there you have external answers. You have people who, they could do this, they could do that, they are incredible, which is sad, for this is a story of one in particular you know very well, Jesus. He was not a sheep in
wolf's clothing.
Your words, yes. But yet, to some, the energy was of that quality. Languages. They perceived him as things, as answers, and his message was tainted.
Yes.
Because he was of a higher conscious evolution. Yet because there were those seeking the magical, the euphoric, the answer, he became the other side of that equation, where he said, I am the Son of God. You all are the sons and daughters of God. But it was misinterpreted because of the energy that came before. So when we are speaking to Euphoric, we are saying that when there is this misalignment of desire in those regards, it is one part of the equation. Cosmically, you could say it is in of the soul's desire to experience at that point the other side equally of that equation. Therefore, there will be individuals that can take many forms, as the respected guru, the miracle healer, the follow me, and my religion, as your people have, or beliefs, are the way to reach that euphoric thing you so desire. We would almost argue, and this is perhaps a strong statement, it is in the majority's misalignment that creates what often is presumed as the villain. It is not as entirely accurate that the majority wishes to be the villain, therefore there are the victims. Hopefully our words are received in love.
Absolutely.
Is this useful for your question regarding the leadership?
Very, very useful.
If you have no question, we shall tune in for guidance moving forward, yes?
Yes, please.
For you asked what we would share.
Yes.
What would be said is there are a few thoughts. The first would be enjoy the process. While it is important to understand that the message is in understanding you are revisiting what we experienced. You are being given an opportunity to integrate into these things as what your vocabulary is associating as the new Atlantis. What is important is to understand first, we would say, allow yourselves to enjoy the journey, for there is much of your people who need to remember who they actually are. Do not be wary or excessively cautious, per se, of this, the term you say, magical blanket, which we will define as when you are going on a journey, there are different steps. You are ready for your next step, which is in experiencing that which is more of your true natures collectively and greater access to what is otherwise labeled as magical in comparison to what is your normal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Savor this unfolding, for it is also important to understand within the collective groups of allowing these expressions is what equally allows the consciousness to have access to those aspects of remembering and those gifts and potential. The frequency then can be held on the planet. Therefore, it is not our intention to discourage these expressions. Rather, play with this energy. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to explore. Allow yourself to look to what you do desire. Some may wish to see colors or realms or fairies or frequencies, or perhaps experience synchronicities that are spontaneous and answering or solving. And these are all aligned. There is the remembering on the mass scale must take place. Without this, we would not be moving forward. So embrace it. But also, remember to be present. Remember to appreciate your animals, your plants, your elements, your water. Allow yourself to have moments of appreciation of what has always been available to you. Do not get distracted by what is new and forget what has always been. This is why we say to you there was a grieving of what was taken for granted by our people in the end. So as you are being and unfolding and advancing, also savor the nostalgia. Yes. Next, we would say, in this, many will be able to integrate these new energies in balanced forms and being able to be that of quantum advancements and magical possibilities and intuitive healing or gifts or expressions shared, and appreciating the planet that is providing this interesting container to live these experiences through. Connect with one another, connect to your land. As your story progresses, we would also encourage there to be a growth in what is referred as your intuitive or inner knowing. This will be beneficial as you begin to see the scales attempt to harmonize or not. This will be useful in introductions to various galactic frequencies and individuals, to discernment of whether one's gifts may be for you or not for you. There is, in other words, a suggestion to, as you are remembering yourself as these forms of God, source, universe, consciousness, to look less externally for answers and more engage externally for collaboration. This, we would say, is At this time, what we are able to leave with you for consideration in how your people are advancing forward. We will one more.
Okay.
As there are frequencies that are familiar that are no longer serving, equally dream of possibility. No idea should be left unturned, or do not assume to limit oneself in what may actually be possible. For in many ways, it will feel as if you are new dreamers. Yet, we would also suggest that your dreams are not entirely new. And they have been lived experiences through various consciousness over the course of time and space. But to dream, however unusual or foreign, this will invite like a contagious frequency for others to equally do the same. If we were you, we would play games of who has the most unusual idea to answer the world's problems. And with that, we now say, that would be all of our guidance there. Are there any other questions you have?
Kind of a personal one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can tell me. I have been fascinated with learning about plasma.
Mm-hmm.
And how we work with it to create our reality and our connection to it. I'm fairly new to it, and I'm just wondering, is there any information you could share with me that would help me on my journey of understanding it deeper?
We will give you this piece, yet we feel as if it will not entirely answer.
Okay.
At the end, or towards the end of our experience, there was quite some fascination, and we were at points able to work with understanding the creation of this frequency you speak of. Not in just working with, but in replicating.
Oh, okay.
With this, there was not entirely aligned interest with those working with these energies. There is a frequency equally that we've said, if there is a certain desired equation, the other end is answered. This, we feel inspired to share.
Okay.
Yet, you may ask questions. We may or may not reveal more. What we would say in general is yes, it is relevant. And it is, in our case, a tool that was misused.
Yeah, I was looking, I think there's an individual here who's looking to honor it. And that's where we're looking in is understanding it is sentient and has its own.
You understand.
Yes, and so it's just wanting to honor that connection more than use it for anything.
Yes.
How do we co-create with it?
Yes.
In honoring it is my intention in understanding and wanting to learn about it.
Yes. This is understood, but we felt it was acceptable to share this information with you, for it is within equally understanding the polarity of humanity that there is the desire to control. Therefore, in the misaligned creation of or programming of in various ways did not serve well.
No.
Like explosions of cosmic bombs. The energy was not able to hold or engage with what was already sentient and in purity of existence.
It was kind of like overcharged.
Yes. Improperly infused through miscreation. You may want to bake a cake, does not mean you will do it properly.
Sure.
And some may put poison in cakes.
Oof. True.
Your energy and intention is infused
In the plasma.
in your creations.
Yes. God, there's so many questions there, but
Ask questions.
Is it true that we have our own bioplasma?
Yes.
Then there's a theory by another human being that there's our bioplasma. There's 3D plasma, 4D plasma.
You are correct.
And 5D plasma.
In your question, you are correct.
Okay. So then it would be interesting, especially to me, to know that our thoughts could then create a certain type of emotional weather within that bioplasma. Is that possible?
Are you taking this understanding literally?
Not literally, figuratively, I guess.
And within your thoughts, can you cause disruption in your plasmic field?
Correct.
That makes it more challenging
Correct.
to decipher directions or ways or where what is or is not aligned?
Correct.
This is, we are understanding?
Yes.
Yes. Then yes, this is entirely accurate, for it is within the looking for analogy. You consciously the statement a penny for your thoughts? Yes?
Yes.
Fill the jar.
Okay.
The jar, imagine if you have such pennies, your understanding of penny, yes?
Yes.
Into jars as your thoughts. Now, continue that and tell me, where is the first line penny? Can you see it in your jar?
No.
Why can't you see
It's
it?
buried.
Through what?
All the other pennies.
Yes.
All the other thoughts.
Yes. The more aligned suggestion is to stop the raining of the pennies. When you may have another analogy, yes?
Yes.
You have a jar. You have an exciting idea. It is a penny. Put it in your jar. The jar now has 1 penny. You sit and then you think, oh, I can't say that. What would they think? You now have another penny, yes?
Yes.
Put it in the jar. The advice would be stop raining pennies because now you have 2. The likeliness of you deciphering from the 2 of what is aligned and what is misaligned is greater when there are only 2 pennies in the jar than if you have a jar full of pennies, yes?
Yes.
This is clouds, this is disruption, this is lightning or thunder or whatever analogy you wish to place. It becomes distraction is the point. Therefore, could you get to the original penny? Yes, perhaps with skilled focus and mindset. But you would be better, yes, to have just 2 say, perhaps I will take a break. Perhaps I will go do something that brings me joy. And while you are doing things that bring you joy, your field is not stormy, as you say. It is clear. And you suddenly realize, wow, that first penny was a lot shinier. I like that one. Is this useful?
It is. Okay. This could just go on and on because I would be asking, how do we interact with all the bioplasma and the regular plasma, and how do we dust plasma?
Perhaps another conversation.
Yes. So thank you for answering that and confirming that. I don't have any other questions.
Very well. Then we will thank you and wish you and your experiences all the joy